welcome in one and all to the Week 4 game number 2 featuring the Clean Cleats and the Base Bandits. The Clean Cleats versus the Base Bandits. Clean Cleats are 1 and 2 and they're taking on the 2 and 1 Base Bandits. Let's head on over for the introductions, starting with the Clean Cleats lineup. Leading off in left field, Alex Gordon. At shortstop, batting second, Nomar Garcia-Parra. The catcher, batting third, Joe Mauer. Your DH and batting fourth, Jerickson Profar. Batting fifth, playing third base, Manny Machado. In right field, batting sixth, Joe Carter. In center field, Johan Rojas. At first base, Joey Meneses. And the 9-hole hitter playing second base, Al Newman. The Base Bandits leading off, Mark McLemore. In right field, batting second, Mr. Padre, Tony Gwynn. In left field, Carl Crawford. In the cleanup spot, center fielder, Ichiro Suzuki. Batting fifth, playing second base, Ian Kinsler. At the hot corner, Jose Ramirez. The DH, batting seventh, Alan Wiggins. At first base, batting eighth, Joey Meneses. And the catcher for the Base Bandits will be Ron Hassey. So the starters for today. First up for the Clean Cleats, they look to the righty Aaron Nola. 4 command all around, 1 to 2 X range, 1 defense, 6 innings, and 18 outs. So lower base command, but if he gets on his chart, 18 outs is pretty solid. And for the Base Bandits, they look to another righty in Dean Kremer. 4 command against lefties and switch hitters, 5 command against right-handed batters, also 18 outs, also with a 1 to 2 X range. Can also go 6 innings. 3 defense is the big one there. So with that being said, let's head on over to the field and get ready to go. The defenses for today. First up for the Clean Cleats, they will have a 11 infield, 10 outfield, and an 11 battery. This will also be one of the first times that the Base Bandits, I believe, have faced a righty. So I think they've maybe faced one other one in their first 3 games, but I'm pretty sure they've gone up against lefties in all 3 of their matchups so far. They definitely will thrive against right-handed pitching more than left-handed pitching. So an 11 battery, they will probably be able to steal, because as of right now, they only have 1 stolen base on 1 stolen base attempt the entire season, which is kind of crazy when their whole mantra is to steal, and they're 2 and 1. For the Base Bandits defense, they have a 13 infield, 10 outfield, so both defenses with a 10 outfield, and the Base Bandits having a 13 infield, and their battery is 14. So the only real threat to steal is Rojas on the Clean Cleats. They're not really a stealing type of team, but with all that, let's get ready to play some baseball. Dean Kremer, as he goes throughout the Clean Cleats lineup, will face a total of 5 right-handed batters, with 4 of the 5 being the 5, 6, 7, and 8-hole hitters. So 3 out of the first 4 hitters, though, were not right-handed, and that could prove to be tough. And again, we're in the starting pitcher 4 range, so the bullpens are a little bit lighter than normal, or they might be lighter than normal, so it's very important for these teams and these starting pitchers to really do their best to go the max innings possible. Kremer has done his warm-up pitches. He is ready to face the leadoff man for the Clean Cleats, Alex Gordon, and we are ready to play ball. This will be a 4 versus 13 to start off the game. And the pitch from Kremer will be a 20 total. And Gordon hits a fly ball out to left field, and that'll be, or right field rather, and that'll be the first out of the game. As Gwynn makes the routine fly ball catch. 5 versus 12 as Kremer faces off against the shortstop Nomar Garcia-Parra. 21 total, and Nomar's swing is a ground ball over to the shortstop. And the shortstop is McLemore. He picks it up and throws it over to first for the second out of the inning. 2 away. 4 versus 14. So a 50-50 shot for Kremer to get Mauer, or to get the advantage against Mauer. So it's going to be a tough matchup for him all day, but Kremer will win the first one. And Mauer will swing and miss as a strikeout will end the inning, and Kremer sets down the Clean Cleats 1, 2, 3. We'll look at the standings after the game, but again, it's still very early on, but there's a lot of 1 and 2 teams. So if the Clean Cleats can grab their second win of the season, that would be big for them rather than dropping to 1 and 3. Nola's out there. He's ready. He's going to face off against Mark McLemore. So similarly to Kremer versus Mauer, Nola versus McLemore and Suzuki will be tough, as it'll be a 4 versus 14. And Nola will also win the first one. McLemore's swing is a line drive smoke to the second baseman, Al Newman, who hangs on for out number 1. Brings up the right fielder Tony Gwynn, 4 versus 13. And a 23 total for Nola, and Gwynn swings and misses. That's out number 2. The left fielder Carl Crawford, 4 versus 12. Crawford, a deadly combination of speed and power, and advantage Crawford. Crawford's swing will be a double, so a 2-out double puts Crawford on second as Ichiro comes up to the plate. Outfield will move in. 4 versus 14. Advantage goes to Nola, and Ichiro swings and misses for out number 3. So Nola does allow a double with 2 outs, but gets Ichiro to strike out for out number 3. And we head to the top of the second inning. It is 0-0. Jerkson Profar, the DH, is up to bat for the Clean Cleats. This will be 4 versus 12. Kremer is set, delivers, 14 total for him. And Profar hits a deep fly ball to right field, and Gwynn is under it, makes the grab for out number 1. And this will start the 4 righties in a row for the Clean Cleats, so Kremer will get 5 command, 5 versus 11 as he faces Machado, and Machado will get the advantage. His swing is a deep fly ball to left field, and that's going to hit the wall, and he's going to be in for extra bases. So Manny Machado with a double off of Dean Kremer with 1 away. Machado is not the fastest, only a 13 base running, and with a lot of outs on Carter's chart, the outfield's going to remain normal. 5 versus 11. Kremer's set. He delivers. A tie goes to Carter. Carter's swing is a 15, which is a single. That'll move Machado over to third. And Carter, man, with 1 out and Rojas up next, it would be a 10 versus 16. You can't send him this early. So infield will be in, outfield normal, as the center fielder Rojas comes up to the plate. This is a 5 versus 10. And advantage Rojas. Kremer is struggling where he should be getting more advantages against these right-handed batters. The swing from Rojas is a 20, and that's a double. So that'll put the Clean Cleats on the board as Rojas will get Machado to score, Carter's to third, and with the outfield not in, it'd be 10 versus 21. And they're going to keep it as is, but a 1 out double for Rojas gives the Clean Cleats the early lead. Infield and outfield will now be in for the Base Bandits with only 1 out here. 5 versus 11. Let's see if Kremer can lock it in here. He cannot, and that is a mistake pitch, which means we need to get our die, our nice red power die out here. And since both the infield and outfield was in, Meneses can only roll a 1 or a 2, unless he rolls for the walk. But a 1 or a 2, and Kremer is really struggling here. The swing from Meneses is a 7, which is a fly ball, but that turns into a single. So that'll score Carter from third. And they have a decision to make. They could send Rojas home. It'd be 10 versus 23. And I think they're going to do it because not getting these guys to have a quality appearance is going to be big. So they're going to wave Rojas home. 10 versus 23. Crawford has it. 10 versus 23. His throw home is a 19. So he guns Rojas down at the plate. I think that was a fine send, especially with your 9-hole hitter up. And Rojas is gunned down for out number 2, so Kremer does not allow 3 runs so far. Defenses are back, as this will be a 4 versus 10. And Kremer finally gets the advantage. Newman's swing is a ground ball over to the second baseman Kinsler, who picks it up and fires it over to first for out number 3. And the Clean Cleats will take a 2-0 lead over the Base Bandits early as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Again, Kremer should have gotten more. I mean, that was a 5 versus 11, 5 versus 11, 5 versus 10, and 5 versus 11. That's a solid streak of guys that you'd think you'd get an advantage against, but just didn't work out. Let's see what Nola can do here as he faces the 5, 6, and 7 hole hitters. 4 versus 11 as he faces Kinsler. Advantage Nola, and Kinsler's swing is a ground ball over to the third baseman Machado, who fires it over to first to Meneses for out number 1. The dangerous third baseman Jose Ramirez is up 4 versus 10. And Nola will give Ramirez the advantage. And Ramirez almost had a 16. A 7 will be a walk. So that'll be the first walk issued by Aaron Nola. And just as the Base Bandits name suggests, they're going to send Ramirez. This will be an 11 versus 25 on the throw. Mauer's throw is not in time, so Ramirez will swipe second base. With one out, outfield will move in as Ramirez has a 20 base running. Alan Wiggins, the DH, is up 4 versus 11. Advantage Nola. Wiggins' swing is a ground ball over to the second baseman, who picks it up and throws it over to first, route number 2. Bringing up Joey Meneses, 4 versus 11. Outfield stays in. Nola is set. He delivers a perfect pitch, and Meneses will have to swing, and it looked like it was in between, so we'll just re-roll, and he will roll it over to the shortstop, Nomar Garcia-Parra, who throws Meneses out at first, and the one-out stolen base for Ramirez is going to be a futile effort as Nola gets out of the inning. We go to the top of the third. Clean Cleats 2, Base Bandits nothing. Kremer will be going through the lineup for a second time, facing Alex Gordon, Nomar, and Joe Mauer. 4 versus 13. And a mistake pitch from Kremer, not good. And Gordon will hit a deep fly ball to right field. That ball is going, and it is gone. Home run for Alex Gordon. And Kremer gives up the leadoff mistake pitch home run to Gordon, and that will take away any quality appearance opportunity that Kremer has, which means their bullpen is going to have to go at least 3 innings here, if not more. 5 versus 12. Kremer gets the advantage. Nomar's swing is a fly ball out to left field. Crawford will get under it and make the grab for out number 1. 4 versus 14 as Kremer is set and faces the catcher Joe Mauer. The pitch, advantage Mauer, and Mauer will swing and hit a ground ball over to the first baseman Meneses, who just casually picks it up and steps on first. So Mauer with a batter chart down. He's had a lot of those for only having 4 outs so far this season. Brings up the DH Profar, 4 versus 12. And another advantage given up. So that's 3 out of 4 advantages given up by Kremer this inning. And Profar will hit a single out into right field. So a runner on with 2 outs. And it brings up Manny Machado. 5 versus 11. And a 23 total. But Machado with the pitcher's chart single. So back-to-back singles allowed by Kremer. And the outfield will now have to come in. Profar only has a 17, but if you don't have the outfield in, it's a 23 because of the +6. So outfield in, 5 versus 11 as Joe Carter is up. Big pitch coming from Kremer here. And it's another mistake. Oh dear, this could turn ugly fast. Similar to the last game where the Broad Street Bats poured it on. And Carter will hit a single. So with the outfield in, this is a tough decision. It would be a 10 versus 20. And with the bottom of the order up, a chance to knock him down an inning. They're going to send Profar. So this is the left fielder Crawford again. Can he make another run saving throw. 10 versus 20. And the throw from Crawford again is going to gun down the runner at the plate. And Crawford has now saved Kremer from allowing another run. And that'll end the inning. Possibly a questionable call, but with a 5 versus 10 coming up next, seemed like the more wise decision to send a 50-50 shot. Because if you make it, now Kremer is down to 5 innings with no chance at a quality appearance. Seemed pretty solid. Head to the bottom of the third is 3-0. The Base Bandits would love to get something going here. 4 versus 11 as Nola is set to face the 9, 1, and 2. Perfect pitch from Nola. And Hasse will just hit a slow ground ball over to Meneses at first for out number 1. Feels like some of these games have been really tight or just absolute blowouts. The last one being 18-3, although that one was close for a little while. Nola is set to face Mark McLemore. 4 versus 14. He's set, he delivers, and advantage McLemore. So an opportunity for McLemore, but he will not do anything with it as he hits a ground ball on his own chart over to the second baseman, Al Newman, for out number 2. So finally an advantage, but an out. 4 versus 13. And a mistake to Gwynn. Man, that batter chart out could really hurt them if Gwynn does some damage here. And a 15 will be a single for Tony Gwynn as he gets on with 2 outs. He will also do the stealing thing, trying to get something going here. 11 versus 25. And nope. No thank you, says Joe Mauer, and Gwynn is caught stealing for out number 3. And the Base Bandits are looking around, trying to find answers and not getting any. So far through 3 innings as we head to the top of the 4th, Nola has gone 3 innings, only allowed 2 hits, and struck out 2. Kremer has allowed 8 hits, 3 runs, and 1 strikeout. Nola has given up 4 advantages total. Kremer has given up 8. So if he wants to continue on in this game, he's going to need to lock in. And he looks to do so against the 7, 8, 9 hole hitters of the Clean Cleats. 5 versus 10, and Kremer just squeaks by with the advantage. And Rojas, that's in between, so we'll re-roll that one. We'll hit a fly ball out to left field where Crawford grabs it for out number 1. 5 versus 11. A perfect pitch from Kremer. And Meneses will ground the ball over to the shortstop, Mark McLemore, who will fire it over to first for out number 2. Which brings up the 9-hole hitter, Al Newman. 4 versus 10. And a 19 total for Kremer. And, that was almost a 20. But it will be a fly ball. And so Kremer is able to finally set the batters down 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 4th. For a clean inning. Nola set to face the 3, 4, and 5 hole hitters. Very dangerous for the Base Bandits. 4 versus 12. And as a 9. So just squeaks by with a 13. But Crawford will get things rolling with a pitcher's chart single. Oops. And, man, it's so tempting because it's an 11 versus 25. Ichiro's fast, though, so probably not a double play opportunity. Gotta steal. Makes sense. 11 versus 25. And Crawford will be safe at second, so he swipes a bag. Leadoff man is now on second base with nobody out. This will be outfield in for the Clean Cleats. 4 versus 14. And a mistake from Aaron Nola. The fortunate thing for him is this version of Ichiro does not have a lot of extra base hit potential, and a 13 will be a single, moving Crawford over to third. You would need to roll a 23 for a double and a 24 for a home run for Ichiro. Now, if the outfield in 10 versus 25 and Kinsler's speed, they're going to leave Crawford on third. And with a chance of not really having a double play, infield and outfield will be in for the Clean Cleats. 4 versus 11. 17 total for Nola, and a 10 is a ground ball. So I have to think here. The infield's in, so Ichiro will automatically go to second. And then you can choose to send Crawford home. It'd be 11 versus 25. Or they can just take the out at first. And they're going to send Crawford home. And I think they can either choose, but they'll choose to throw home. So 11 versus 25. And the throw is in time, as that is a 27. And Crawford will be thrown out at the plate for out number 1. So great defense there from the Clean Cleats. Infield regular, outfield in. Man, the Base Bandits just feel like they're squandering opportunities left and right. But, I mean, again, you had to roll a 15 or higher for it to be an out. 75% chance with the bottom of your order coming up. I don't know. Who knows? 4 versus 10 for the dangerous Jose Ramirez. 15 total for Nola, and Ramirez hits a high fly ball out to right field where Joe Carter makes the grab for out number 2. Outfield stays in. The DH Alan Wiggins is up. 4 versus 11. Nola's pitch just barely gets it again, and Wiggins will hit a smoking line drive. And that'll be out number 3. So the Base Bandits had multiple opportunities and couldn't string a single thing together. And apart from, I mean, that was a great throw. But, man alive. Base Bandits are struggling. And you'd think this would have been a game with the lower battery. They could do something. Top of the 5th, 3-0 Clean Cleats, 4 versus 13, as Kremer will work his third way through the lineup. Alex Gordon is 1 for 2 with a solo home run. Advantage Kremer, and Gordon hits a fly ball out to right field where Mr. Padre makes the grab for out number 1. Brings up the shortstop, Nomar Garcia-Parra, who's 0 for 2, 5 versus 12. Kremer set, delivers, tie, goes to Nomar. Nomar's swing will be a single. With 1 out, Nomar gets on base. Bringing up the catcher, Joe Maurer, who is 0 for 2. 4 versus 14. And that is a 10, so that's a tie, which goes to Joe Maurer, his second advantage of the game. What will he do with it this time? Oh, you've got to be joking. That is a fly ball, so I must be an announcer's jinx. But Maurer has gotten 2 advantages. He only has 4 outs, and he's gotten out twice on his own chart. Unreal. Biggest oof player so far, I believe. 4 versus 12, as Profar is 1 for 2 today. Great pitch from Kremer. And Profar's swing will just be a ground ball over to the second baseman, Kinsler, who chucks it over to first for out number 3. And Kremer gets out of not really damage, but allowing another runner in this inning. To the bottom of the 5th we go. Still 3-0. Nola is set to face the 8, 9, and 1 hole hitters. 4 versus 11 as he faces the first baseman, Meneses. 22 total, and Meneses will swing, and that is a fly ball out to left field, where Gordon makes the catch. Out number 1. The catcher, Ron Hasse, up next. 4 versus 11. And advantage Hasse, who does have a lot of outs on his chart. And a 20 from Hasse will be a double. So you don't often see that from the 9-hole hitter. A little bit of pop. He's so slow. And they're going to leave him in the game, because their backup options, I guess they could pinch run just to try to get a run. They're going to do that. Make it tough on the defense. All right, they're going to go to their lineup. And do they want to do Scott already? Sure, why not? They're going to sub in Victor Scott to pinch run for Hasse at second base. The ever-dangerous Victor Scott with the 22 base running, which will pull the outfield in. And I'll just have to remember to make a defensive substitution after this, which a 1 battery should be pretty clear. There needs to be a defensive substitution. 4 versus 14, as now the leadoff hitter for the Base Bandits is up. He's 0 for 2 today. And advantage Macklemore, so hopefully he can try to redeem himself. And a 7 is a walk. So with 1 out, Nola in a bit of trouble here. Outfield will stay in as he faces Tony Gwynn, who is 1 for 2. 4 versus 13. And a 15 total, so Nola just gets the advantage. Gwynn swings and misses for out number 2. Oh boy, this feels like Base Bandits again. Runners on, can't even move them. Yet. Crawford is 2 for 2 today, a double and a single. This is a 4 versus 12. The Base Bandits would love to do something here, and it will be advantage for Crawford. Oh my goodness, a 3 is a ground ball. And that's out number 3. Oh my goodness, this is just sad. Nola really isn't pitching that well. Just the batter chart outs are just plaguing this team. And not really. I mean, they've only had 2, I guess. But it just feels like they're in the worst possible times. The Base Bandits will sub in Kurt Casale at catcher, since Victor Scott cannot play that position. So their battery goes down to 12. And we go to the top of the 6th inning. It is still 3-0. This will likely be Kremer's last inning, unless something miraculous goes down. 4 versus 10. Nope, that is not who is up. Good thing I look at my playmat. 5 versus 11. Machado is 2 for 2 today. And a 21 total. And Machado's swing is a line drive caught by the third baseman Ramirez for out number 1. Again, this game is far from over, and if the Base Bandits can keep it a 3-0 game, that's definitely striking distance for the Base Bandits. Carter is also 2 for 2 today. 5 versus 11. Advantage Kremer. He's actually done fine against the top of the lineup for the for the Clean Cleats as Carter goes down on strikes for out number 2. It's just been the bottom of the order. Like, yeah, Kremer gave up the solo home run to Gordon, but most of the damage has been done by the bottom of the order, or middle to bottom, I guess. Rojas is 1 for 2 with an RBI double. 5 versus 10. 20 total for Kremer, and Rojas will go down looking as well. So Kremer's last 3 innings, he's faced 3, 4, and 3 batters, and even the first inning he went 1, 2, 3. So again, it felt like Kremer really struggled in this game, and it was really just 2 innings that were not good for him, but otherwise pitched decent, allowed some traffic, but that'll most likely end his day. Nola did achieve his quality appearance the last inning, so he bumps up to 7 innings, which will help the Clean Cleats bullpen. 4 versus 14 as Ichiro is 1 for 2 today. 4 versus 14, advantage Nola, and Ichiro will swing and miss for out number 1. That is Nola's 4th strikeout today. He will face the second baseman, Ian Kinsler, who's 0 for 2. 4 versus 11, and a mistake pitch from Nola, and Kinsler does have some pop. What will Kinsler do with it? And a 9 is a walk. So mistake pitch walk, and that is Nola's 3rd walk allowed. And he will be off and running. An 11 versus 25. Mauer's throw from behind the plate is a 19. And Kinsler is caught stealing. So the Base Bandits are now 2 for 4 today as they get caught stealing, which is very unfortunate. 4 versus 10. And another mistake pitch. See, you want to steal because you want to be in scoring position because that's their bread and butter, but now we could have maybe had a runner on first as Ramirez gets a power die swing. And an 8 will be a single, so Nola, that's actually best case scenario for him, as a walk would have taken him down an inning. And why not? Ramirez is going to try stealing. 11 versus 25. And if it was the 14 like it was going to be rolled, it would have been safe. He would have been safe. But instead, it was a 15, which is a total of 26. And Ramirez is caught stealing. So, what a bummer of an inning again. Maybe I should just stop trying to steal. And by me, I mean the Base Bandits manager. Again, you need it's a 75% chance. Like, going 2 for 5 is like unheard of. Now, Kremer's back end of the chart is pretty good. And with their bullpen kind of lacking, he's going to actually come back out tired. So his command drops 1, and then the Clean Cleats will get the power die for all their swings, no matter if they get the advantage or not. It's 3-0 in the top of the 7th, so this will be normally it would be a 5 versus 11, but it will be a 4 versus 11. 4 versus 11. Kremer's pitch is a mistake regardless, so Meneses gets the power die either way, and that's an 18, which is a single for him. So leadoff man is aboard. 4 versus 10 as he faces the second baseman, Al Newman, who is 0 for 2. Kremer's pitch will be a 13 total, as that should have been a 3 versus 10, sorry. So Kremer's advantage, and a 2 is a strikeout. as Al Newman goes down swinging, and this will be most likely where the Base Bandits will go to their bullpen. The fatigued guys are Milner and Fernandez. So they're probably going to go to Morajan here. Or do you want... It is the better part of the lineup. Hoffman has more outs and more command, but they would get more on base because of the righty action. Probably safer to go Hoffman, so they're just going to go Hoffman. See if he can keep it held down here. Jeff Hoffman is the big righty. He's got a 6 command flat, so against everybody it'll be a 6 command. He has 18 outs, -1 defense. And he will face Alex Gordon, the Gold Glover in left field. Gordon is 1 for 3. 6 versus 13, and Hoffman's pitch will be a 19 total. Gordon swings and misses for out number 2. And with 2 outs, the shortstop Nomar Garcia-Parra is up. He's 1 for 3. 6 versus 12. Hoffman's pitch is a 2, so not quite a mistake, but it does give Nomar the advantage, and I need to start making rulings about what's in between, because like it looks like a 4, and a 4 or 5 is an out. So I feel like if it's in between and it's the same result, you take it. So that's going to be a fly ball on Nomar Garcia-Parra's own chart for out number 3. And even though Kremer gives off the leadoff double or single from Meneses, no further damage is done. Aaron Nola comes out for the bottom of the 7th inning. Again, probably his last inning of work here, as he will face the 7, 8, and 9 hole hitters. Wiggins is 0 for 2 today, 4 versus 11. And a 20 total for Nola gives him the advantage, and Wiggins will ground the ball over to the second baseman, Al Newman, who throws it over to Meneses at first for out number 1. 4 versus 11. Meneses is 0 for 2 for the Base Bandits. And a 20 total. And Meneses will roll over to the shortstop Nomar, who throws it over for out number 2. That'll bring up Kurt Casale. He's not been up to the plate so far yet today, as he is the new guy. 4 versus 10. And advantage Nola as he is cruising, and Casale hits a high fly ball, but that'll be out number 3. So Nola has just absolutely cruised. He has given up 6 hits, but because Mauer's thrown out 3 guys, that's been huge for them. When we go to the top of the 8th inning, it is still 3-0. Hoffman is available for 1 more out. So he will come back out for 1 out of this inning. And he will face Joe Mauer, who is 0 for 3. Mauer's gotten 2 advantages, but has gone out both times. 6 versus 14. And that is a 9, so 15 total. So just gets the advantage. And Mauer finally will get a hit, and it'll be a single to lead things off. Brings up the DH Profar, 1 for 3. 6 versus 12. And a 2, so advantage Profar. And Profar's swing is a single. So back-to-back singles allowed by Hoffman. Defense will be regular as Mauer is very slow. 6 versus 11. Machado is 2 for 3. Hoffman gets the advantage. Machado's swing is a ground ball. Maurer will be safe at third. Ramirez throws it over to the second baseman, Ian Kinsler, who gets Profar out at second, and they're going to throw over to Machado, or throw to first to try to get Machado. This will be a 13 versus 16. So the odds are pretty good, and an 8 will be good enough for a double play. So Hoffman gets a double play, and that'll be 2 outs with a runner on third, and they're going to need to go to the bullpen for 1 out. Do they turn to someone who's kind of crappy and hope they can just get out of it? I guess you got to go to Morajan, your other decent pitcher, even though he's a lefty, to face Carter. I feel like it just kind of has to happen. Again, it's all about bullpen management, and Adrian Morajan will face Joe Carter, who is 2 for 3, 5 versus 13. Defenses are all regular. 2 outs, a big pitch incoming, 5 versus 13. He gets the advantage, and Carter's swing is a 19. So a pitcher's chart single will score nope, R0, R2. Who does that give that to? I think R2 should give it to Hoffman, but it's not showing up as that. But it's not Morajan's run. I don't know. We'll just do that for now. Regardless, the matchup was there. Just didn't work out. They will pinch hit. Go to Pache, who will come in and play center field for Rojas. So it's now a 5 versus 11. With 2 outs. So make that substitution. Pache's chart is very similar to Rojas as far as potential to hit some extra bases if you roll high enough. 5 versus 11. 20 total for Morajan, and an 18 will be a walk. So Morajan's doing his job and getting advantages, but the swings from the Clean Cleats are just too much. And the Clean Cleats will pinch hit again. This time going to Andy Fox, who will come in and play first base for Joey Meneses. This will be a 5 versus 12. Outfield will move in. The pitch from Morajan is a 22 total. The swing from Fox, oh my word, another pitcher's chart walk, which will load the bases for Al Newman, who is 0 for 3. Outfield moves in, infield's normal. 5 versus 10. And the advantage will go to to Newman. And Newman will roll an 11, which is a walk. And that'll bring in a run. This is not looking good for the Base Bandits, as it is now 5-0. So it'll be 5 versus 12. I mean, Morajan gave up 3 pitcher chart stuff in a row. Like, that's just hard to do anything with that. And he's allowed 3 walks. So if he gives up another walk, they're in trouble. 5 versus 12. He just squeaks by with a 13. And Gordon swings and misses. Big out there. So, not the best of outcomes for the Base Bandits. as they give up yet more runs. Go to the bottom of the 8th again. It is far from over. Far from over. But it's not looking good. The bullpen for the Clean Cleats, as we head over there, they can look to Mark Davis or Joan Duran, and they will be facing the top of the lineup, which is favored against lefties. And did I say Davis? Oh yeah, Mark Davis is definitely coming in this game for them, because the Base Bandits don't want to face a lefty, and they will have 2 righties coming up. So Mark Davis will definitely be the pitcher coming in. Davis is a lefty with 4 command as the base, but against righties and switch hitters will have a 6 command, as he is an LR+2. +2 defense, 18 outs. Very, very good lockdown pitcher. And he will face the top of the Base Bandits lineup. And again, we've seen some crazier things happen. So it's not over, but it's not looking good for the Base Bandits, as they couldn't capitalize on a lot. They've left 6 on base so far today. This will be a 6 versus 11, as the pitch from Davis is a perfect pitch. McLemore's swing is a ground ball over to the left side, as Nomar picks it up and throws it over to first for out number 1. Gwynn is 1 for 3, so it'll be 4 versus 13. And a 21 total, and almost goodness for Gwynn, but he will just sadly hit a weak ground ball to Andy Fox at first for out number 2. 4 versus 10 as Crawford is 2 for 3. He had that awful batter's chart out with 2 guys on the last time he was up. 4 versus 10, another perfect pitch from Davis, and Crawford's swing will be another pitcher's chart single, so a 2-out single. The battery is a 9. Ooh, as Davis actually has a -1 defense, I think. I don't know what's correct, the card or, but regardless, they can't steal. They're gonna have to have Ichiro bat here. 4 versus 13. Ichiro is 1 for 3. 20 total for Davis, and Ichiro grounds over to Fox at first for out number 3. More sadness for the Base Bandits as they trail 5-0, and we head to the 9th inning. Morajan is good for 1 out, as he will face Nomar Garcia-Parra, and it might just be a punt from there on out, who knows. But 5 versus 13, he is 1 for 4. Advantage Morajan, and Nomar's swing is, you guessed it, a pitcher's chart walk, which will push Morajan to tired because that's his 4th walk allowed. Which means we need to go to the bullpen for the Base Bandits, and I think they are going to choose to punt here. They don't want to use any of their other pitchers. And with a couple lefties due up, they'll go. So Ernie doesn't really matter. They'll go Walter. Walter Beal coming in. Not good. Oopsies. Walter Beal is not the guy that you want to see coming into a game ever, and I feel like we've seen him, and I guess that last game was more of the not status quo, but we won't go over Beal's stats because they suck. 4 versus 14 as he faces Maurer, who's 1 for 4. 4 versus 14, advantage Maurer. And Maurer strikes out on his own chart for his 3rd batter chart out of the day. Shame on you, Joe Mauer. 4 versus 12. And advantage Profar. Profars will walk. So another walk allowed. Outfield will move in. So it'll be a 1 versus 11. As Beal faces Machado, he's set. He will get the advantage. And Machado's swing is a fly ball for out number 2. Outfield remains in, 1 versus 11. Carter is 3 for 4. And Beal will get a 13, which is great. And Carter rolls a 1, which Beal doesn't have any strikeouts on his chart, but that's a ground ball. And Beal does great. Go figure. And this will be the last attempts for the Base Bandits as they have their 5, 6, and 7 hole hitters come up. They are trailing 5-0. And he will be tied. Well, he will not be able to be used for the next game, but 5 runs is a little too much to throw a crappy pitcher. Unless they want to try it. You know what? 5 runs. They have the pitcher to do it. They'll let Walter Beal come in for themselves. 5-0 is feel like should be good enough. And it's the lower hitters for the... And he has to face a minimum of 3. So if it gets really bad, Duran can come in and he'll lock it down. So this will be a 1 versus 11 as Kinsler is 0 for 2 with a walk. And a perfect pitch from Beal. Kinsler's swing is a 16, which will actually be a single. So a pitcher's chart single to lead things off. Bring up the third baseman, Jose Ramirez. He is 1 for 2. 4 versus 10. And another perfect pitch from Beal. And a fly ball from Ramirez will be out number 1. It was almost a 20, which would have been a double. Not good. 4 versus 11 as Wiggins is 0 for 3. And advantage Beal again. Beal is not giving up advantages, and this is a ground ball. Kinsler is going to be thrown out at second. Wiggins is going for first. This will be an 11 versus 24. The throw over to first, either way, is not going to be in time, and Wiggins will be on with a fielder's choice. Bringing up Meneses, 1 versus 11. And a mistake from Beal to Meneses. And wouldn't you know it, a ground ball on his own chart will end the game. That is your final. The Clean Cleats whoop up on the Base Bandits. It wasn't particularly close at any point in this game. And the Clean Cleats are going to move to 2-2, and that'll drop the Base Bandits to 2-2 as well. Wasn't a very particularly exciting game between these two teams. As we kind of look at the recap here. The Clean Cleats got things started in the top of the second inning where they got 4 advantages in a row. Capped off by a 1-out RBI double from Rojas and then a mistake pitch RBI single for Newman to put the Clean Cleats up 2-0. And the Clean Cleats then tacked on another solo home run in the top of the third from Aaron Gordon. Which was great for them. And just looking for player of the game here. It's kind of hard to choose. But I think we're going to find one here. And we will head into the next game. Where we will see, I believe, the Shiny Squad taking on the Strikeouts. That's a big game too. Very big game. So let's look at the scoreboard and the final here. The Clean Cleats take a 5-0 win over the Base Bandits in 9 innings. Your winner is Aaron Nola. Nola would go 7 innings, allow 6 hits, 0 runs, striking out 4. The loser for today's ball game will be Dean Kremer. He went 6 1/3, allowed 10 hits, 3 runs, and also struck out 4. No one will get the save, but again, the story of this game is really going to be the outs that the catcher Joe Mauer was able to help out Nola with, throwing out 3 of 5 runners. And just looking at when those happened. Oh, and also throwing out someone at home. I remember that. That was somewhere that I'm not seeing. That was a fielder's choice. Yeah, and that was back when it was 3-0, so that could have, brought the game a little bit closer. But 6 pitchers start hits and walks for the Clean Cleats is going to be tough as well. But that's going to do it for us as we look to Week 4, Game 3. The next time between the Strikeouts and Shiny Squad, and we look forward to seeing you then. Take it easy.